Well, today what we covered um, was the intersections between international humanitarian law and human rights law as it relates to all of the issues that arise in the context of terrorism and counterterrorism operations, targeting, the power to detain individuals, the rights of individuals to challenge their detention, the treatment of individuals who are detained, and the trials of individuals who are detained in connection with terrorism. Coming from the American experience, where the conversation concerning these issues is quite different than it is in Europe and among Europeans, it was really refreshing to be among a group of Europeans and Europeans who are well versed on the subjects and have some knowledge of humanitarian law, have a good deal of knowledge about human rights law, and to talk about these issues in ways that really apply and get to the heart of the problems of human rights law and humanitarian law in ways that I have to admit are much more difficult to get to in conversations within the United States. To bring together policymakers and advocates and academics from Europe, from the United States to discuss these issues, it can be very rich, or it can be a total failure depending on the level at which people decide to engage. The fact that it was done under Chatham House rules, meaning that nobody's comments would be attributed to any particular individual beyond the room, I think made for an extremely fruitful conversation. And as a human rights advocate, for me, it was an opportunity to simply learn a lot about what the policymakers thought, what they were doing, and in particular about how Europeans and Americans view things either similarly or differently, and that's a conversation that is just so essential to coming up with effective counterterrorism policies and practices that respect human rights law, that respect humanitarian law, given the transnational nature of the problem. So I thought it was extremely educational, a really rich conversation.